Hey guys, and welcome back to Starcaster Remarks. Alongside nobody tonight, it is just me. This is the Starcastic Remarky show of all time. Yes, I'm up in the press box of the American Airlines Center. I was here tonight. That was kind of nice to be here for once. It's been a long time since I've been here. The Stars do get the win tonight, 5-3 over the Colorado Avalanche. 2-goal night from Mason Marchment. Jake Ottinger was praised twice by Razor on the radio side about him being the best Dallas Star in the game tonight, especially in the first and the second period. He gets the win as always, and it seems to be a thing when he's at home and he plays at home because he's completely undefeated here at the American Airlines Center. Lots of things to get into here tonight, but first off, I want to thank our sponsors, DraftKings Sportsbook, Raycon, and Game Time, as always, for being our sponsor. Promo code is THPN the next time you go and use their services there. We are going to get to the third period, Jacob. Jacob's already talking about it. The third period definitely had my blood pressure a little raised. It absolutely did for me. It kind of was a, oh, here we go again kind of feeling. But they do take care of business, and Mason Marchment does get that empty net goal 2.5 minutes remaining in the period, and that puts all the pressure off as they go on to get the win. So just right off the bat, let's just go through some of the notes I've got. It was a very chippy game. Marchment had a big hit right off the bat, and then even right off the bat, probably within the first 2 minutes, Colorado hit the post, and Otter somehow saved the rebound. Dallas had a turnover after Otter misplayed a little bit, and then Blackwell was actually the first Dallas Star to get a shot here on goal tonight. About 2.5 minutes in, there was a point shot that was tipped wide, and it was a really good shift by the fourth line, and I put more of that. And that seemed to be a thing here this evening, that the fourth line was probably the Stars' second best line behind the Duchesne line. They had decent team defense off of Colorado Rush, but they still started a little slow in this game. And if it wasn't for Ottinger and him kind of, I don't want to say standing on his head, but he definitely saved the day in the first 10 minutes of the game. MacKinnon took a shot off the rush. Makar would take the puck from the net to the net from the point. You just can't let him do that. We'll talk about him a little bit later here today. And then it would be Kovalenko who would take the first penalty of the game. Dallas would go on the power play. And the fortunes for the Dallas Stars changed here today. The Dallas Stars go on and they get a couple of power play goals here today. Their penalty kill, for the most part, stays spotless. And that this was a perfect game for the Dallas Stars in that aspect, because in the first and second period, it was nothing but a special teams contest. So right off of that, they had some pressure, but then they didn't really use it. They seemed to kind of back off and try to get set up, which I think we would like to see a little bit more of. But again, who can I say with the results here tonight? Sagan would score the first goal of the game. He gets a power play goal from Marchment. It was a backhand pass across the zone. It was a bad rebound off of Georgiev, and that was absolutely huge for Tyler Sagan. Sagan has been really, really good, and this is probably the best I've seen Sagan look in years as a member of the Dallas Stars. They're not really managing the puck well at this point here in the first period, and but I did put they haven't allowed any major chances on Otter so far. So they had some kind of scary moments, but nothing super major at that point. Dodonov made a really good play at 10:45. The Stars were hemmed in their own zone for a good period of time, and they were trying to get their big guys out there. And he made a play that forced Colorado out of the Dallas zone. And again, like I said, they were in their zone for a good long period of time. It was right at the blue line that he made that play. About 9 minutes, I kind of wrote, I haven't really seen a lot of play in the Colorado zone other than some rushes. So the Stars were kind of hanging in there. Otter was very solid, and they were sort of kind of getting their chances. They were just starting a little slow. 8:40, Duchesne actually takes a shot when he gets the chance off the rush, and I put, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And then he shows some of his dangling moves, and again, it was just a good shift by that top line. And yes, I'm calling them the top line for now. They got a little cute at 7:40, and it caused Dallas to give up a turnover, and then it would also cause an icing on the ensuing play. So that is something that DeBoer literally just talked about in the post game presser that they just did. There were just a couple of cute plays that they just need to get away from. They were a little bit more. I don't want to say basic, so maybe simple is the right word. They were a little bit more simple, especially on the power play, but it kind of showed that throughout the game here tonight as well, in all aspects of their game. Dallas would go on the penalty kill. Johnson would take a tripping call. That's an iffy call. That seemed to be a theme tonight. There were a couple of plays that I completely disliked that the refs made. That I mean, there were maybe one or two that I was just kind of like, really, those are like actual penalties, and then the rest of them I thought were very ticky tacky. And I'm sorry, the Avalanche are the biggest diving team in the NHL, in my opinion. They're the biggest pansies. That they couldn't score on Ottinger 5-on-5, so they tried to get as many power plays as possible. And for the most part, for the first two periods, the refs were kind of letting them have it. So, anyways, on the ensuing penalty kill, Rantanen would try glove high on Otter, and he faked a cross zone pass, but Otter didn't fall for it. It was a great play by him. However, Nichushkin would tie the game. It would be at 6:04. He scores the rebound after Rantanen's initial shot hit the post. So another post, Nichushkin basically just looked behind Otter, and it looked like Ottinger pooped the puck, and he just slam dunked. There was a couple of those in the game tonight as well, a couple of slam dunks. Right after that goal, I put, the shots are up 12-4 for Colorado, and they need to pick up the intensity a little bit. And literally, as I was typing that out on my iPad, they would score again. The Stars would. They'd make it 2-1. Miro would score off the rush on a 2-on-1. It was a good exit out of the own zone, and it bounced around a little bit, but it went in, and it was an ugly, nasty goal. But honestly, who cares? It was off the rush, and it was that's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want to do. If you're having issues scoring, which they had issues scoring in the last couple of games, then you just throw it at the net and see what happens. Sometimes you just get lucky and the puck drops for you, like it did for Ben. We'll talk about him in the second period here in a little bit, and he'll get that there. And it actually wasn't Miro. It was Miro was initially credited with the goal, but they would give that to Mason Marchment later on. I think at the beginning of the second period is that when that would happen. Dallas would go back on the power play at 4:43. It was a bench minor for Colorado. Too many men. Otter would make a really good save on a shorthanded rush chance for Colorado, and then Dallas would go to the penalty kill with 2:07 remaining in the period. So again, another call in my opinion that I thought was pretty ticky-tacky, not great. They called holding the stick, and basically all the other player did, I don't even know who it was. He just held on to Blackwell's stick and then fell. That's what he did. And he got called for holding the stick. Blackwell did. It was a good kill so far, but Colorado had a lot of trouble setting up on that particular power play. Dallas would go shorthanded on the 2-on-1, but of course, Makar, being the defenseman that he is, he breaks it up, and it was Sagan and Ben there. It was just kind of cool to watch. Razor's initial thought at the end of the period before going to break, Jake was the Stars' best player because the rest of the team started on their heels. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he was by far the best Dallas Star on the ice in that first period. The Stars kind of hung around in the first period, and I think I thought they were okay in the first period. They could have been a lot better, and we saw something happen. I'm assuming someone talked to somebody, because the second period was by far the Stars' best period in the game. Right off 30 seconds in, there was a great save by Georgiev on a Dallas chance, and there was a couple of good D plays for Miro. Nils would take a chance in the high slot. There was a couple of good ozone shifts for the fourth line, and then it kind of got a little bit chippy there for a little bit around the 15 minute mark. There was a couple of big hits by Dallas. There was a one by Colorado. They would have a good chance off the rush, Colorado would. And then this is where I kind of put Miro Heiskanen is just absolutely ridiculous. He made numerous plays within the first 6 minutes that clearly don't get defined enough by Stars fans or by the media in general. He showed tonight why, especially in the second period, why he is so tremendously gifted on the defensive side of the puck. He's ridiculous. And it wasn't just him in the second period that was good, but the whole Stars were very good in the second period defensively. They were just in the right spot. They had their sticks in the right spot. They were making sure they were winning the right puck battles and all that sort of stuff. 8:54 in the second. Rantanen would have a chance point blank, but he didn't get all on the shot. And Dallas would go to the power play. And yes, Ivan, that is actually his name, would go to the box for high sticking. Johnston would have a chance in front. That's another guy that I wish would get gifted a goal here. He had a pretty good game here tonight. I wish he would shoot the puck more. I don't actually have the stats in front of me about how many shots he had tonight, but I'll take a look at that here a little bit later. But literally about 20 seconds later, Ben would get called for hooking, another play that I thought was just not good. I thought it was a ticky-tacky call. It wasn't great. So it could be 4-on-4 for a minute 39. And honestly, I know that for the most part, the Stars have some really quick players that can, that'd be excellent. Some extra open ice for them. But for not against the Colorado Avalanche when you've got Makar, Devon Taves, Nathan MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen. That's just ridiculous. That's not fair. And they trotted those four guys out there for a little while on that 4-on-4. During that 4-on-4, Wyatt would have a chance off the rush, and Miro would be looking for the rebound. Nothing there. Nils had a point shot, and there was the forwards there looking for the rebound. Otter would make another great save. Dallas would go back on the penalty kill, and Petrovic would go for high sticking. The refs were just not very good, but in this particular case, I think that was one play that deserved to be called. It was absolutely a play that deserved to be called there. Probably the first real penalty that the Stars had that was called against them in the game. And during that penalty kill, I didn't have anything else to say. So generally speaking, the Stars were very good on the penalty kill here tonight. They would go back on the power play. The Stars would. Taves would go off for high sticking, and I was just like, wow, there's been a lot of penalties here tonight. So again, just another theme here tonight that I guess the refs wanted to insert themselves into the game here tonight. So that's just the way that it went. Going into the third period, Razor, again, he reemphasized how good Jake Ottinger had been here tonight. And he also mentioned that the special teams had been at least matched by the Dallas Stars. And Dallas would take a 4-1 lead going into the second intermission. So, and again, at this point, normally in the past, I've been like, okay, I'm safe with the 3-goal lead. The Stars should take this and win this game. But it just wasn't the case here tonight, and especially the last two games, it hasn't been all that fantastic either. So they would take care of that. However, here tonight, let's get into this third period here. Right off the bat, 30 seconds in, Otter makes two great saves off of a Colorado rush, and then at 18:58, Lehkonen would score off the rush, and it was he would make it 4-2. And honestly, what happened was if you kind of back the play up all the way back to the Stars zone, it was generated off of a Dallas faceoff win in the Colorado zone. So Colorado won the loss, if that makes any sense. They lost the faceoff, but they jumped on the loose puck before the Stars could get anything cycling and going in the Colorado zone. So that's something that has been a little bit of an issue, but not really. It was just something I noticed on that particular play. Ben would knock a guy off the puck, not a big hit, but I thought it was funny because a bunch of the fans kind of jeered at the Colorado player for that. 15-20, Makar doing Makar things, and he would do that again later when he would be part of a goal. Dallas would survive the forecheck off of Makar doing Makar things, but then they would ice the puck. So there's a lot of pressure coming from the Colorado Avalanche early on here in the third period. Ben would throw his weight around a little bit. Blackwell would also throw his weight around a little bit. And then Petro with a bit of a chippy hit. So there's about three little plays there in about a minute's time where there's a couple of Dallas Stars players kind of getting in there and getting nasty, which is kind of nice. It's nice to see those guys get in there and do that. And then right back to back, there was a couple of plays that the Stars had where they should have just shot the puck and they passed it off. And that's something I talked about in the last episode. I really would like to see them shoot the puck a little bit more often than that. And they were doing it in the first and the second period for the most part, especially the second period. They were doing it a lot better. But just again, another little thing I noticed. Makar did Makar things again, and he would make it 4-3 along with Rantanen. Rantanen would put it behind Ottinger, and Colorado was in the middle of a line change while Cale Makar was doing that. Yeah, Cale Makar is a good player. It's not fair. And then right after that goal, I was just like, Dallas hasn't had much of an offensive push this period. They didn't really do much other than those 2 plays where they didn't really shoot the puck. That's what happened. At 11:07, I just kind of put Dallas is trying to find a way to lose the game. That Ben would go back to the box again, and they would go back on to the penalty kill, and Razor called it a touch foul. They called it hooking, but again, I thought it was just Middlestad falling down. Just Colorado is a bunch of divers. 10:44, there was a point shot. There would be chaos around Otter, and I put Dallas really needs a faceoff win, and they didn't get it. I was trying to manifest one. It didn't work. Sorry, guys. Colorado is getting the plays that they want, but not connecting is what I wrote down here. And I just put the Dallas Stars really need to get some sort of offensive pressure, even if it's just spending time in the offensive zone, just to kind of balance out the weight of the ice at that point, because it was all in the Dallas zone. It was full court press by the Colorado Avalanche at that point. During that power play, it was really scary. I mean, I can't tell you how I was like up here. I just noticed that they were making all the plays that they wanted. They just were not connecting on them on that particular power play. So Dallas just getting a little bit lucky there, a little bit of good play there as well. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Thank you to my grandpa Bubba for that particular quote there. 7:29, Dallas would have a point shot that was tipped, and that was the first shot that I had mentioned in, since before the Makar goal, so about the 13-minute mark. So I think they only had like 5 shots in the third period. That's something that I wish Dallas would do a little bit better. And now they don't do it as bad as when Bones was here, and they don't kind of sit back and just do nothing and just play defense for the whole period. But I would like to see them not necessarily get up on their high horse and giddy up, but just a little bit more pressure on the offensive zone, so that it when Colorado does have those moments of pushing back, then maybe that can kind of dilute the pressure and maybe a little bit of the anxiety that they might be getting at during the third period there. Not really much after that. The Colorado would have their chances. It would just be full court press, and that 2:43 Marchment would deposit the empty net goal, and that would be your final score, 5-3 here tonight against the Colorado Avalanche. This was a very big game for both teams. Colorado is getting all their players back. They had a bunch of guys who were either hurt or, in Nichushkin's case, just suspended because of the player assistance program. And they're starting to get better. They're going to push their way up into the top 3. I think. I don't know who's going to fall out. I hope that's not us. Thankfully, it's not us tonight. We have a couple of games in hand on them, if I remember correctly. But we're third. They're fourth. It's a divisional game. It's on Friday night. It's on national TV on TNT. Really big game for them. And the Stars do come up on top. I think that's probably the biggest thing out of all of this tonight, is the fact that they do get the win here this evening. There's a couple of takeaways from this game for me, and then I'll get into my biggest winner. I'll save my biggest takeaway for the biggest winner. Ottinger was really good tonight. If it wasn't for him in the first period and some of the saves that he made in the second period as well, this game doesn't happen again. And I know we get the 4 goals. I know that there's a lot of good plays made defensively, especially in the second period. But without his play in the first period, it's unquestionable that that Colorado should have been taking a lead into the first period, at least in my mind. The special teams were much better here tonight. That was excellent. I love to see both sides of the puck getting better on the special teams. It was good on the penalty kill, good on the power play. The power play just seemed to be, again, another the same word I'll use is simple. They seemed to just simplify it up, and when it looked like they had an opportunity and had some space, they took the shot, and it seemed to work for them here tonight. So, and then the penalty kill was also really good against some really, really tough characters in Colorado. I mean, they're very top heavy. They rely so much on MacKinnon, Makar, Rantanen, Nichushkin, I guess in that case, to do all the offense for them. And a lot of that comes on the power play for Colorado. So Dallas, for the most part, neutralized that, and they did very well here tonight. Third thing, and this is going to be the one that probably takes a little bit, and I hadn't talked about this yet. Obviously, the biggest thing that a lot of Stars fans have been talking about, other than Steve's spot and the power play, is just the defense in general. We saw both Smith and Dumba get sat. I guessed that it would just be Dumba, but he took both off, and he made comments in the pregame presser. He was just like, "Look, we're 20 game." I'm paraphrasing here. DeBoer said we're about a quarter of the way through the season, 25% of the way through, and it's not about development anymore. This is not development for the Dallas Stars. We need to start winning, and they took care of that tonight. So they take those two guys out, Smith and Dumba, and they insert both Lundqvist and also Petrovic from the Texas Stars, and I thought they were good for the most part. I didn't really get a chance to look at the particular pairings, but it seemed like it was all over the place here tonight. I know that on paper it was like I think it was Miro and Essa, and then Harley, Labushkin, and then Nils and Petro down there. But I think everyone was kind of playing with everybody a little bit. So those two guys coming into the lineup tonight, that's good. It was really good to see Nils Lundqvist again. I really feel for him. I hope he's okay. I hope him coming back into the lineup is because he's feeling better, rather than just the fact that we need him to play right now. So I don't know, but I maybe it can be both. I hope it's both. And honestly, Nils Lundqvist has been good. I want him to continue. He's been really good on the defensive side of the puck, and he's been able to focus on that a little bit more, and maybe he can continue to do that, and maybe he can start racking up his offensive side of the game here over the next couple of months. I don't think Heat that we will see Bischel anytime soon. I was really heated in the last episode, and I was hoping we would see him, but I'm perfectly okay with Nils and Petrovic down there on the third pairing. Let's look through some of y'all's comments here tonight. Jacob with a bunch of comments. Let's just take a couple. Well. Not only does our defense and offense improve significantly when Dumba is scratched, but we actually score on the power play, not once but twice. Yes. Love the fact that DeBoer started the Duchesne line as the first line. Should have done that sooner, since Robo, Hintz, and Johnson are still figuring things out, but I think they will get there. I think they will too, but we're a quarter of the way through the season, Jacob, and that top line, which should be the top line, is not really getting there that much this year. Let's see. That interview with Mush after the game was a good one. Hope y'all caught that. I definitely did. He's so much fun. By the way, he's a lot bigger in person. He's a guy that you want to take to the bar with you if you get in a fight or something. Like you want him on your team. Let's see. Brooke, is the record for Pete DeBoer still no 3 losses in a row? Do I have that correct? I think it's 3 regulation losses in a row. And yes, that is correct. That record stands for at least another week. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Motto getting in on here as well. As long as Dumba is scratched, as long as he wants. Good. Talking about Otter. Okay. Wonder how long Otter can keep that up. Like talking about his play. Yes. I hope he keeps going, because right now he's been flawless at home. He literally has been flawless. So, let's see, couple PK comments, some bad calls by the refs. Let's see. I think that's it. Okay, so Ardell over here. Bischel doesn't need 10 minutes of a game in the NHL right now. Let him percolate and grow at least a few months. If he makes it into the roster this season, guys, honestly, what I think is going to happen is that it will be towards the end of the season, and maybe he'll pull like a Harley, and that's only if we absolutely need him to. Which maybe he could be the deadline acquisition for the Dallas Stars, and maybe we can have him and go out and get another right-handed guy to play with Miro. I don't know, but and this is another one that, Ardell, you're reading my mind. I like that pairing of Lundqvist and Smith. They played really good in the couple of games that they were together, and then Lundqvist got hurt and had to be out of the lineup for a while, and then they had to throw Dumba back in on that third pairing as well just to get him back in. I would like to see that as the third pairing moving forward. That would be ideal, and if you could get that going, then you don't have to worry about the defense moving forward. Oh yeah, I can't believe I haven't talked about this. Stankoven. Stankoven would be mentioned at the morning skate that he apparently tweaked something in the last game. Nothing major. He was up here. He looked like he was okay, but he has kind of slowed down the last week or so after really kind of hightailing the Calder race for Rookie of the Year. So we will see. We will see if he gets back in the lineup again on Sunday against the Jets. That'll be at 3:30 here at the American Airlines Center, and I look forward to bringing you that game again as well. Okay, let me give you my biggest winner, biggest loser here tonight. My biggest loser is going to be Forgive. I love that so much, and even the Colorado Avalanche fan base call him that. They call him Forgive because he gives up 4 goals every single game at the very least. And then the big guys for Colorado have to get it going in order to kind of make up for his miscues. So for me, the biggest winner, I kind of talked a lot about Ottinger today, but you know what? I'll give it to Mason Marchment. He deserves it. He's at top 3 in goal scoring on this team right now in terms of points. He's been an absolute freak of nature this year. This is probably the best year since his year in Florida, where I think he had 20 goals. I would bet he could get to 30 goals this year, easy. Here, let me look that up while I'm just talking about him. But anyway, I just don't understand the chemistry that he has with Duchesne and Seguin. Like those 3 guys separate, they're good players, but together it's like they all complement each other so well. Let me pull him up real quick. I'm trying to get there. He does get the first start of the game here tonight. He gets 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points in the NHL app as I'm trying to pull this up. He has got 9 goals, 14 assists for 23 points in 21 games. So he is a point per game pace right now. And his best statistical season was actually last year. Never mind. Excuse me. So he bested his Florida season by 6 points last year, and he's well on his way to destroying the totals this year with the Dallas Stars. So he's just got to stay healthy. And you know, the last thing, and I'll wrap it up here tonight because I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. It seems like the Stars are fighting a bunch of like nagging injuries, so like little injuries. I still think Robo is not 100% from his off-season surgery. Obviously, Rope Hintz is fighting something because he didn't play in the last game. Stankoven is probably. I know he says it was something that was tweaked in the last game, but I would bet that it was even before that. To be honest with you, because he's slowed down considerably the last couple of weeks, and even just his motor has been just a little bit slower. So. Okay. Well, that's going to be it here for me this evening. I had a lot of fun. I enjoy being here. And if you want to see, there were a lot of chambers here tonight, by the way. They're like a lot. Like I was here, Chris, Jane, Zach, and then all their significant others. My dad, my mom was here. Just everybody was here tonight. So it was great to see. And they kept bugging me with, they were actually here. I'll even show y'all where they were literally right over in that section, right there, literally taking pictures of me. And was like, "Oh, I see you, Ryan." I was like, "Okay, I'm trying to work here." No, I'm just kidding. I love my family to death. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for following along here live with me tonight. If you are, there's even more of you that are listening afterward. Thank you again to Game Time, DraftKings, Raycon for being our sponsors. Use that promo code THPN. If you're listening to us on your audio platform of your choice, please consider leaving us a 5-star review, subscribing, and clicking that download button anywhere you can. That's the best way to help us grow, and leave us a 5-star review. I don't remember if I said that. And then social media at StarcasticArb, basically anywhere and everywhere. And if you're on YouTube, click like and subscribe. We'd love to see you there. We're almost to 500 subscribers. It's a big, big milestone for us, considering that we've been doing this for a while. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much once again. My name's Ryan. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hope you all have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening, and we will see you guys again on Sunday when the Dallas Stars take on the Winnipeg Jets at 3:30. And since Chris is not here, I'll say it for him. GG, boys, and good night.